Is $1 million enough? You want to surround yourself with people that are willing to tell you what you need to know, not what you need to hear. Nobody wants to run out of money. In the last 10 years of your life, if you're running out of money, that's not a good conversation to have. So what is the fix? Is $1 million enough? You think that if you've worked for 25, 30, 40 years and you saved $1 million, you got it. But if you don't understand the impact of distributions in retirement, taxes, market volatility, $1 million might not be enough. You could potentially run out of money. We're going to show you this hypothetical example of two people that are retiring with $1 million and it's not enough. More importantly, we're going to show you solutions and show you how to properly structure your income. You can give yourself the best chance to not run out of money and enjoy retirement. I'm David Aframi, founder and investment advisor at BAM Advisory Group, and I have spoken in front of tens of thousands of people in seminars, workshops, at libraries, and in individual meetings. And we focus on making sure our clients don't run out of money through our unique process, the BAM Retirement Game Plan, and our 3-bucket approach. Now, understand results may vary depending upon your situation, but let's go ahead and get right into this hypothetical example. So now we're going to get into our planning software, and this is Tim and Tammy Sample, right? They've got about, real simple, they've got about $1.25 million in assets. You can see Tammy has about $250,000 in a 401k. Tim has about $750,000 in a traditional IRA, and they have some cash at $250,000 for emergency. Right. And these are some of their goals and objectives. When we build out these plans, these are kind of the inputs. So you can see they're both 65, basically retired. Their life expectancy is until age 90. These are their financial priorities and goals: retirement planning, investment management, minimizing taxes, not running money. In this video, we're going to specifically just talk about running out of money and income. We have other episodes that talk about tax planning and things like that. Definitely you should watch that. They want and need about $140,000 in retirement. They're both high income earners, right? Making well over $250,000. And when they did their budget, they wanted about $140,000 in retirement. As far as their income sources, their basic income is Social Security, right? And they have a very small pension. They have $70,000 of defined income. They want $140,000. And their question was, is $1 million enough? Are we going to run out of money? That was their biggest question, okay? So what we do is first thing we do is we go into our cash flow report and basically show them, if nothing changes from now until age 90, are we going to potentially run out of money? So you can see starting now and slowly over time, they're running out of money. So to give you some context, we're giving their investments at about a 6% rate of return. So we're not being overly aggressive, but it's also not a conservative allocation or estimation. So you can see here, this chart here is all their income flows. Income flows accounts for things like pensions, Social Security, things of that nature. Any planned distribution would be future RMDs. These are their expenses, right? Because they want $140,000, but you got to think, if we're going to be we got to pull this money from somewhere, and all their money's in IRAs, we have to account for taxes. So they have to actually pull out $158,000 for them to net $140,000. This net cash flow, what this means is the money that they have to grab from their investment accounts, right? At $90,000, and again, they have about $1 million. I don't count the cash as a investment bucket to pull from for income. $90,000 is way too high of a withdrawal rate. That's almost 9%, right? Look, everyone's different. Everyone's situation could vary, but for these people, they just don't have the right plan, because pulling money from the investment accounts at that high of a rate is not sustainable. So you can see they're slowly run out of money. So you can see if they make it till age 90 and we don't have any, this is not showing bear markets. We're going to plug in a bear market. You're going to see that, yeah, these people still have money, but man, they're slowly running out. They've got about $237,000. It's funny. I've had a lot of conversations with people like, oh yeah, I want to spend all my money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, in the last 10 years of your life, if you're running out of money, that's not a good conversation to have. So that looks like it actually works. But what if we bake in a bear market at retirement? What is the impact on their portfolio? One bear market at retirement, you can see that they potentially run out of money at age 77. They're out of money. You can't sustain high withdrawal rates in retirement. It's just not sustainable. And this is only one bear market from 65 to 90. Imagine if they had 2 or 3 or whatever is going to happen, because nobody can predict the future. I hope we don't have any, but you can see, so this isn't sustainable. So the number one question is, are we going to run out? Yeah, you most likely are, especially if we have market volatility. So what is the fix? what we did is we created what we call BAM Advisory Group, a defined income or volatility control strategy, where it's essentially moving monies from their investment bucket to an income bucket, right? And let's just see what happens. Now you can see, right? Again, this is a perfect case example. Their base facts, they potentially end up with $200,000. In our scenario, they have almost $800,000. So they're not running out of money in our example. So now let's go back and bake in a bear market and let's see if the defined income strategy holds its weight. And it does, right? Where they were going to run out of money, potentially 77, we still have money in their portfolio. And for these people, I'd probably tell them, I think $140,000 is a little too much. Go redo your budget. And let's maybe do $120,000 or something like that. Those are conversations that we have with people because there's a great quote on our website. It says that you want to surround yourself with people that are willing to tell you what you need to know, not what you need to hear. Your financial advisor, you don't want a humble heart surgeon. You want a financial leader in your life that's willing to tell you, say, hey, you know what? That amount of money you want in retirement, it's too much. So you're either going to have to work a couple of years or spend a little less, right? So that you don't run out. Nobody wants to run out of money. So let's kind of show you an example of how we put this together in our 3-bucket strategy. Make it simple for you to kind of understand. So this is our 3-bucket approach. This is how our investment philosophy plan for income, growth, and protection. So remember, they had $1 million. All of it was in the market. And they also had $250,000 in cash and savings. So that cash and savings, $250,000 is their emergency bucket. Your protection bucket should not be a bucket that you're taking withdrawals from, right? This is just for emergency. Now their income bucket, they had, again, Social Security, pensions, things of that nature. And the gap, they just had too large of an income gap. So our intention is how do we close the income gap? And again, they also had a small pension. So let's not forget that. So it was simple. All we did is we moved $600,000 of their $1 million into the income bucket to fill in that gap through multiple ways of, income planning. There's so many different strategies that, you could use things like bonds, or for some clients, annuities work, for others, structured notes. I mean, we could go on and on, dividends. I mean, there's so many ways to get income in today's environment. So this also reduces their risk. So that's why when we showed you in the side-by-side example, when we had that bear market at retirement, the defined income scenario held its weight. And this way, if you have additional needs, you saw $400,000 that you can tap into, right? And that money can be invested as conservatively as you want for those one-off things. So this is how you give yourself the best chance to not running out of money in retirement. Once again, this is David Aframe, co-founder and CEO of BAM Advisory Group, also a licensed investment advisor representative. If you would like to see how we help our clients protect what's priceless, how we've helped our clients for the past 25 years, please visit our website at www.bamadvisorygroup.com and schedule a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of our advisors. If you're enjoying the content and you're enjoying the show, please like and subscribe. Thanks again, and we'll talk with you soon.